Can you guys hear me okay? Thumbs up, yeah?
Yeah, you're good.
Good. Awesome. Hey, Brandon, did you get your house built?
I didn't qualify for that house, so I ended up backing out.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, bud.
It was a blow to me too. So
Yeah, I was excited to have you over here this neck of the woods.
I'm still coming.
Good.
I'm still gonna be over there. Just it's gonna take me a second longer.
Well, we'll have to chat later, man. Maybe I can help you find something cool.
Yeah, appreciate that.
Well, welcome everybody. We're getting a few more people popping in here. So this is an interesting call. So those of you that haven't been in the Easy Flip community before, this is something new for you. So what the Easy Flip community is about, it's all about what I feel like is the easiest way to wholesale. It's the cheapest zero marketing way to find wholesale deals and find cash buyers and to make money. So I'm excited to have everyone on the call. And really, we just focus on two things. One is finding wholesalers with deals and finding cash buyers. Try to keep it super simple and to the point. So I'm really excited to have everyone on here. Now, real quick, if I can just make sure if you guys have to go to the bathroom, just turn off any cameras or leave your phone in the other room. We had a little incident yesterday on a coaching call. It was my first time with that. So I had to hurry up and shut off the video. So hopefully we won't have any accidents like that today. So it was a little like, no. Luckily, I was going to go edit it out last night. I was like, luckily, because I was sharing my screen, it didn't pop up. Oh my gosh. That was a very grateful nothing happened there. So we have a lot of wholesalers on here. We have a lot of people that are wholesaling or trying to get into wholesaling or have done some deals or trying to get some deals done. So I just wanted to kind of share a little bit about this, and let me share something with you too. Let me see if I can. I got a little mind map I'm going to share with everyone, and I want to make sure that it is something that I could share with everyone. So share link. You can view it. Perfect. Oh, we got 3 more people in here. Awesome. Okay. So let me share my screen here. Hold on a second. There we go. And boom. All right. Let me know if you guys see my screen right now. What are you seeing? Do you see a mind map?
Building buyers list mind map. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. That's the wrong. I got a different mind map I'm going to share. There it is. How about that one?
Co-wholesaling.
Beautiful. Okay. Perfect. And we'll probably get a few more people popping in here. So I like to keep it really simple, and we have a lot of people. Yeah.
Oh, just saying hi. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, no problem. So for those of you that are new to wholesaling or trying to get into wholesaling, this will be very helpful for you. For those of you that already have been wholesaling, but maybe you don't use this strategy of co-wholesaling, I think that this may be something that you may be wanting to check out on a regular basis. Now, just to let you know, we're firing back up these calls. We're going to be having these calls every Thursday, 10 a.m. every week. Hopefully it'll be the same link. If it changes, we'll let you know. But do you guys see this community right here, the school community now? Am I sharing my screen right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me go ahead, and for those of you that aren't in here, I'm going to send you an invite in the chat so you have access to this. And just to kind of let you know, this is where you want to come, and this is where we'll have coaching call recordings in here. The 2023 coaching call recordings right here. Here's a quick start class that Justin Chamis and I did. It's 4 videos that really dives in deep into this co-wholesaling strategy here. And then there's my cash buyer blueprint with some video training as well on how to find cash buyers. And these are the same strategies I still use today in my business. On the right-hand side over here, this is where you can find contracts and resources. If you click on here, this will bring you to on a little link on how to, this is my Voxer profile. So those of you who don't know, I love using Voxer. I think this is going to be something that's going to be replacing a lot of Zoom calls and scheduled calls and stuff like that. Is it hard sometimes, or do you ever get something on your calendar and you're like, oh, I got a call on my calendar. Oh, I got an appointment on my calendar or stuff like that. So I'm trying to get to the point where I have very little appointments on my calendar. And not that I don't work or anything like that, but just where my students, my people I'm working with can reach me immediately whenever they have a thought, whenever they have a question, they can reach out. And then I can respond whenever I'm available, whether it's after a Zoom call or after a meeting or something like that. So it's a really great way of what they call asynchronous communication. And then if you need to book a Zoom call with me or book a phone call, this comes right to my appointment calendar, this other link right here. So, all right, now that we got the housekeeping out of the way, let's jump into the mind map. And by the way, if you have any questions along the way here, feel free to chime in, unmute yourself, ask a question, throw a question in the chat. We're pretty informal here. My goal on this is to help you get deals. Now, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I have another ulterior motive too. My other ulterior motive is to do deals with you. Okay, so if you have deals and you need help finding a buyer, I want to be able to help you out. But now that you know my ulterior motive of why I'm doing this, let's jump into how you can do this all on your own without even me if you want to. Okay, so we focus on two sides. One is wholesalers, finding wholesalers with deals. And then the other one is cash buyers, okay, and finding cash buyers. Now, who here, raise of hands, who here has actually done a wholesale deal before? Brandon, Donna, Ty, beautiful. Wade, Brian, beautiful. I know George has. Yeah, George. Rodrigo, did you raise your hand too? Yeah. Awesome. So tell me, I just want to break down. Tell me about your first deal. I'm going to pick on Brandon Miller because I just love having him in here. I haven't seen him for a while. So.
Thanks. So my first wholesale deal, Maryville, Arizona.
Oh, that's a gold mine here in Phoenix. For those of you who don't know.
I had a seller call me from a bandit sign, and I had so I just put up a couple bandit signs, and all came in, and she said, I want to receive this much money, and I ran my numbers, and I said, it's just too much for me. I'm not your buyer. And she said, well, would you come on down and make me an offer anyway? And so, yeah, I did. And I went on down there and made her an offer. It was about $25,000 less than she wanted, but she accepted it anyway. And yeah, so that was my first wholesale deal. That was probably back in 2016 or.
And you found it off of a bandit sign, you said?
Yeah, bandit sign. So
wow.
I think it said Mandy buys houses. Mandy, my wife. So yeah,
that's great. Now, how'd you find the buyer? How'd you sell that deal?
So I partnered. So it was a co-wholesale. Justin with wholesale houses up in the Scottsdale found me a buyer, and so we split it.
Justin Colby.
Yep, Justin Colby. So yeah, so I didn't know who to partner with. I was kind of new in the Valley. I just moved from Utah, and it was my first deal down here. And so yeah, we split 50-50. I actually made about $7,500 on it, and I loved it. So yeah, that was it.
That's terrific. Now, do you remember how much you made on the first deal?
So I made $7,500.
That's great. Wow.
Yeah, the total amount was like a $15,000 assignment fee that me and Justin split.
Now let me ask you a question. Were you stoked and happy to get $7,500?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and
Telling
honestly,
you, the first deal, right? It makes all the difference. It's like going from like potential, just hoping, and then like when that money hits the account, that's an amazing feeling, isn't
That
is.
seems too easy. Come on.
it? Who said that? Oh, Ty. It can be easy, right? If you do it
That
right, but
doesn't sound like a barrier of entry that I've ever heard.
no, Brandon, what was interesting is you didn't have a buyer's list yet, right?
No, I didn't know honestly what to do other than try to list it on Craigslist and Facebook, and
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, it was helpful really to partner with somebody who had a list and knew how to sell it fast and all that, and kind of helped me just be hands off from that point on.
That's amazing. You know, I was just I don't know if you guys know some of the folks in the valley. Luke Rothvold. Anyone know Luke? Viking Real Estate?
Mm-mm.
No. Well, I was over at his office this week, and one of his partners is Jake. And I was talking to Jake, and he co-wholesales. Basically, this is a fancy word, JV or co-wholesale, almost every one of their wholesale deals. They don't even have a dispositions department.
What?
They don't. So now those of you who don't know, in Phoenix, Arizona, we have a couple pretty strong disposition and companies out here. Some people may have heard of Keegley. Some people may have heard of Chris Iman or Spencer Caldwell. Brandon, have you ever wholesaled any deals with Chris or Spencer?
No, but I have with Keeley.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna pick on George Aplicano for a second. So George has done a lot of co-wholesaling and JV deals and wholesale stuff. Yeah. Have you ever done any deals with any of those, like Keegley or Spencer or Chris Hyman?
I've done it with all three.
There you go. So, what's amazing, this is what we want to understand, is we think we have to have this humongous buyers list, right? And you do want to build a buyers list and you do want to create that. But the reality is, and we're going to talk about this, the reality is if you have a connection with someone that has the buyers, that's all you need. So sometimes we feel like that we need to have all of our ducks in a row and everything figured out. I say just shoot the ducks. Forget about putting them all in a row. Just shoot the ducks and take action. Now going back to the co-wholesaling idea of how to find deals. Now I'm gonna pick on George for a second, because George is actually one of the best experts that I've ever met, and especially here in the Phoenix market, on this whole idea. He's joint venture on co-wholesale deals all over the nation, not just in Arizona. George, how do you find some of your deals, if you don't mind?
Yeah, so when I first started, so yeah, the barrier of entry that Brandon had is very unique. But my first 2 years in this business, I was working for some investors. I probably ended up making $2,000. Oh, great! My
There you are.
Probably ended up making like $2,000 off of little commissions of $500 as a bird dog.
Bird dog.
So yeah, so I was bird dogging it for the first 2 years of this, right? And the funny thing is that I was doing all of the work for my investors that I was working for. So when I ventured out on my own, my first deal was I went to Craigslist. I found a seller phone number on there, and as soon as I set up an appointment, went over, talked to him. Luckily, he was already a similar investor that was just closing out his portfolio, and he says, "This is my minimum." Got it under contract. I contacted another investor that I met at a networking event, and from there he ended up selling it, right? But at that point in time, this was the first time I ever made my own money. And so it was a $2,500 check, but it just confirmed everything that I had worked for, that I could do it on my own. So
now how do you do a lot of deals still with a lot of co-wholesale and joint deals, right?
Yeah.
What's some of the ways that you find deals now, or do people just bring you deals now?
Yeah, people just bring me deals at this point. So what ends up happening is that I went to a lot of networking events when I was starting off. One, I didn't know anything. I didn't know anybody. And so then, in going to the networking events, I automatically knew who were the players. I was barely, yeah, I was one of the first students for Steve Trang.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I was in a group when Carlos and Sal were
That's
barely trying to
cool.
put on a wholesale networking event, right? It was their first type of event. So I was there in the early days. And what ended up happening is just, you know, I started talking to people left and right. And then all of a sudden I just got you know, whenever a deal came into my hands, I would reach out to somebody else and go, hey, is this a deal? Is this not? Then as we went through it, you could start underwriting a little bit better and go, okay, well, this is more of a deal. This one has a better spread. Oh, I could see why a developer is going to buy this one versus just a wholesaler, right? Or a fix and flipper. And then that's how it is, right? Then when you start posting this on social media, it just it becomes a wildfire. Like all of a sudden, people are reaching out to you from different parts of the country and going, hey, I have this. Is this something? And then from there, you know, I use my connections to try to see if we can get it sold.
That brings up a good point. So I want to kind of like, let me see if I can open this up.
Where you located at, George?
Arizona.
So I'm going to share my screen with you guys and show you something really cool. So right here, I don't know if you guys see this spreadsheet. Are you seeing the spreadsheet right now?
Yes.
Of all these Facebook groups. Now, these are what I call the influencers, right? Okay, these are people that built up their own Facebook groups, and look at how many members they have: 26,000, 27,000, 47,000, 39,000, right? 54,000. And a lot of these are. Let me just jump into one of these real quick. So here's the all-in guys, right? These are Carlos and Sal. You're just talking about them. Now look. What do you see right here on their Facebook group right now? Owner selling 14 lots. Is that what you guys see?
Not working. Is that not working? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Here's a fixer upper Midland, Texas, right? Here's a cash buyer looking for great deals in Orlando, Florida. Another deal. Okay. Well, this is literally wholesaling deals falling in your lap. One of the things that I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to show you on this mind map here. If this is something I want to, either you can go into a lot of these groups, you can go into your local market, build up your local market. You can do this nationwide. You can do this in multiple markets. It's really, you can do this 100% virtual. I've done deals in other states. I know George has done deals in other states without even seeing the property. You know, done deals in North Carolina, Florida, Atlanta, Georgia, Louisiana, Texas, Nevada, California, right? So you can do this stuff virtually anywhere.
Wow.
But I'm going to share with you using this mind map here. If you're a wholesale, you have two jobs in wholesaling. That's it, just two. So one is to find wholesalers. The other one is to find cash buyers. Okay, with the wholesaling side, okay. We need to find wholesale deals. We need to follow what I call the rule of 5, which is the recipe for success. And then you get that deal under contract. Okay. So on finding these wholesale deals, we do two things. One is we either hunt for deals. We go to Facebook groups, we go to Craigslist, and we're actually hunting for deals. The other one is fishing, right? That's where we just make posts in these social media groups and have deals get sent to us. Now, George, you mentioned that deals basically just come to you now, right?
Yep.
Okay, now imagine everyone here. You can be put in a position where you are looked at in a position of authority, or someone that kind of if you create a Facebook group, if you have a nice community, right? Something where people go to where they know to kind of send deals or reach out to you, you can become known as the go-to person in your market pretty easily by just creating a community or a Facebook group, or even a meetup. If you have a local meetup, who's been to any meetups in their area, whether it's a RIA or anything like that? Okay. Wade, tell us about like a meetup you've been to, if you don't mind.
Yes, I went to like a meetup for with like some people from Pace Morby's group.
Nice.
Yeah, Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, I actually had coordinated it, so it was pretty small.
But you kind of helped put something together though, huh? That's
There's
great.
another meetup that it's like a local investor in DC, and
Mhm.
I don't know, it felt kind of worn out. Like the same cast of characters, and I don't know, it didn't really seem like there's a lot of energy in the group, right? So I
Yeah,
stopped going to it.
that happens, right? That does happen. Brandon
Yeah.
Miller, tell me about one of the meetups that you've been to.
I was at a meetup where we had a couple speakers, a local title agent that wanted to talk about creative seller financing and how to close those, how to write those offers up, all that type of stuff, and kind of the parameters that she needs us to work with if we want to bring our contracts to her so that she could close them.
Mhm.
There was some food that was available to us, and it was a fun event. So, I think the speakers get rotated in and out, especially if we have a fresh presentation the next month.
Yeah. I'll tell you. So I've held meetup groups. I've been to meetup groups. I've been to local RIAs. I've been to some of the influencers. I see someone put in here, I think it was Lee said, did taco night with Trang's crew and Ryan Zolan on the east side. Yeah. I'm telling you too, bringing food is a good way to
Nice.
attract people. If you have food, especially at nighttime after work and stuff like that, if you want to hold these meetups whenever it's available. I've done a lot of lunchtime meetings. I know Brandon, you've been to the Go Giver meetup before. The idea behind that is really you're trying to get people that are like-minded, like yourself, to come over. Now, I created a Facebook group, I created a meetup group, and mine was focused a little bit different. So I actually went out a little bit out of my way and actually created a group that was more focused on experienced wholesalers, people that were spending money on marketing all the time. So I created my Go Giver, my REI mastermind. And we have people from like the batch skip tracing folks met there, Jesse, Evo, and Annie. We have Sean Terry, Cody Sperber, we have Brent Daniels, Pace Morby, Brandon's in there, George's in there. We've had different people in there, people that are actually spending money on marketing. Guess what happened? Because I put people in the room and they have deals, I've been able to joint venture with them and do deals with a lot of the folks in that room, or they've done deals with each other, which I love too.
That's
But
cool.
imagine creating a community in your local market where people are spending money on marketing, they're doing deals on a regular basis, and then you can step in the middle and help them find buyers and make $7,500 like Brandon did, or $2,500 like George did. And how much marketing dollars are you spending? Zero, right? So
Okay.
it's a great way to do this. So let's jump back to the mind map. By the way, any questions on this? I saw George posted his Facebook group in the chat. Anyone else have a Facebook group right now? Or a community, whether it's like school or something off of, I know there's different ones out there. There's different, like there's Circle, there's what's that other one? Dang it, hold on. I gotta look.
Anyone using a Discord? I'd like
Oh,
feedback on Discord just to see what experiences anyone has had.
Yeah, I'll show you a Discord we're using with Sean Terry if you want.
Okay.
So let me let's see here. So we have a mastermind, and actually that's a great idea. I'm slow to the game on Discord because I feel like I got so many notifications going on in my life. I got to fix the notification setting on Discord so I don't feel overwhelmed. But let me show you what this looks like real quick. So can you see Discord here? Do you guys see my Discord screen or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a couple masterminds. One is called the Deal Syndicate. One is called the Six Figure Syndicate. Okay, and then we have people making posts in here. We have one just for the Flip to Freedom members. How many people do they have in this one? Let me see. Let me see if I can make it a little smaller. Does it show how many people are on here? There's 56 online.
I don't know if it shows the count.
738 offline.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's, look, they got deal or no deal, JV opportunities. You can create something just like this where you have a Discord channel and you've given the idea here. If you think about this, you can create a community, whether it's Facebook or off of Facebook, whether it's a meetup group, whether it's Discord or Mighty Networks or school or something like that. The idea is to give value, right? You can, by the way, if you don't feel comfortable teaching or feel like you have the knowledge, you can reach out to other experts in your area or experts that you may know in other markets and have them come in on a Zoom call or have them speak at your meetup group or something like that. So I always give the analogy, it's kind of like you just need to be the cool kid in high school that has the party at your house. You don't have to be the best looking cheerleader or the most popular jock. You just got to have the party at your house. If you have the party at your house, then everyone's coming over your place, and now you're Mr. or Mrs. Popular, and you're able to kind of put yourself in there where you can do some deals too. Now let me jump back to my. Let's see, where did it go? There it is. All right, here's the mind map again. All right, are you seeing the mind map now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I already know that there's some people in here that's already freaking out because I probably am like you. Who's freaking out like, yeah, but I don't have any buyers, Brandon. I don't have a big buyers list. Anyone feel like that? It's okay, raise your hand. Okay,
Sure, yeah.
so I'm going to tell you, you don't need a humongous buyers list because I'm going to show you the shortcuts. You can build up your buyers list and it's not that difficult. And I can show you strategies on how to do this. And we can do that over the next few weeks too. Because it's something I'm passionate. I build huge buyers lists in like 24 hours. Okay, so it doesn't take long. So if you go over here to the cash buyers, I talked about there's 5 types of buyers you need. Okay, and here are the 5 types of buyers. One is flippers. The fix and flippers, the people that buy like 70% and below or 60% and below. They buy quick, they buy cash, they use hard money, they can close in 7 days. Landlords I like a lot too, because landlords buy and hold. They don't need as much fix up. They can buy a little bit higher than the flippers. Sometimes they need financing. Most times you can get them to do cash or at least hard money. Hedge funds. Wow. Let me tell you, who sold some deals to hedge funds last year or last couple of years? Oh, wow. Brian, speak on that for a second. Brian, if you sold some deals to hedge funds, were they paying a lot at the time?
Oh yeah, they were going over market every offer that we listed, right? Or every property that we listed. They were the ones that were over market. What's kind of funny though was they always wanted us, if we had a house that had solar panels, they always wanted us to take them down, and they'd even pay more for us to take down the solar panels. I get it; it didn't fit their rental model, but it was. In a way, I almost felt bad selling houses to these hedge funds versus a family, but they just paid more money, and more money mattered more.
Yeah, and you didn't need a ton of hedge funds, right? A couple hedge fund connections, and you're selling all your deals. Brian Kerr, what about you?
Yeah, sold 2 and almost 10% over what my best other offer was. And for me, the amusement is a friend of mine a year later bought one of them back for about almost 30% less.
Yeah, some of the iBuyers out there, right? Like Open Door were actually slashing 30% off their list price and stuff.
Yeah.
Just to kind of liquidate their inventory.
I was pissed he wasn't going to share.
But hedge funds are coming back too. So and there's 2 types of hedge fund buyers too. There's the hedge fund buyers that are the buy and hold, they just hold on to them. Then there's the ones that are like the iBuyers, like the ones that are just flipping properties, right? Zillow was buying properties for a while. Then they got out of the game. They just decided to stay on the data side. Other realtors if you think about realtors, the realtors control about 95% of real estate transactions in every market. So let me repeat that: 95% of real estate transactions in every market. You want to have realtors on your buyers list. There's a lot of people like, oh no, I don't want realtors on my buyers list. No, you just got to educate them. You got to let them know that this is how you're going to make your commission. You got to sell it to your end buyer and bump up the price to get your commission, or maybe we have a built-in commission for them. We let them know. But realtors have hedge fund buyers, realtors have landlord buyers, and realtors have fix and flip buyers, but also they have retail buyers. So that's another strategy altogether. We're going retail, selling retail. Now, the last one here, the fifth one, is other wholesalers. And the reason why I brought this up, Brandon Miller just shared how he did his first deal with another wholesaler. They already have a buyer's list. People bring deals to George, right? Other wholesalers bring deals to George because he already has a buyer's list. My first JV deal, my first wholesale deal was a JV deal with Sean Terry. And I remember I was all scared. I was working at Wells Fargo and I got the deal under contract. I'm like, now what do I do? I'm freaking out. He's like, Brandon, don't worry. I got 35,000 buyers on my buyer's list. I'm like,
Wow. What's the difference between flippers and wholesalers there?
well, flippers are the ones that actually fix up the property.
Okay.
That actually, painting the house,
Like rehab. Yeah.
doing the rehab and construction. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Wholesalers are more the quick flip, like just flipping the paper. So,
Gotcha. Okay.
so you do want all 5 of those on your buyer list. Now, on marketing your deals, that's where you kind of get a little, it can get a little fun. If you have the list, right, you can do, let me see if it'll pull up here. I always like to do the VIP buyers list blast. So usually I've done deals with buyers in my market. Maybe I have a couple hundred VIP buyers. These are people who already bought deals from me. They've already closed. They've already performed. I know that they know what they're doing. They have the earnest money. They understand the process. It's not their first rodeo, so I'll do like a blast out to my VIP buyers and give them like an hour or 2 before I send it out to the rest of my list. Okay, then you do your regular buyers blast, and that could be email and text. By the way, I love text. I think text is totally, I know 7 and 8 figure wholesale companies that don't use text to market their deals. And then I talk about it and I introduce the idea to them, and maybe they're making $1 million. So, and they're like, holy crap, they added text and now they're selling deals in 30 minutes or less. They're getting over asking price a lot of times. So it's a really quick way, because here's the thing about this. Let's be honest. Who has emails in your email box, in your inbox, that you haven't even read?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Now here's the statistic for you. 95% of text messages are read in the first 4 minutes.
Wow.
Because just like the little accident we had where the guy brought the phone with him to the bathroom last night, a lot of us bring our phones with us to the bathroom. We always have our phone with us next to us in the shower, or whenever we're eating lunch or eating dinner, eating breakfast. That phone is like connected to us now. It's part of our, it's scary if you go and look up and see how much screen time you have. My goal is always try to reduce my screen time every week if I can, so, online marketing too, Brandon brought this up too. Craigslist and Zillow, those are the simple ones. Facebook and Twitter. Those of you who don't know Connor Bragg or Spencer Caldwell, they use Twitter. They put a lot of their deals out on Twitter. Wow. And a lot of the cash buyers that they actually sell to are always watching their Twitter feed. Because what happens is whenever you send out an email, or it costs money to send out a text message, it costs some time, or sometimes the email takes a while. You can only send out so many emails a day sometimes. So, but as soon as they get a new property, they throw it on Twitter, it's immediate. So one of the things they do too that I really love, I think it's a great idea, depending on how many deals you have. is they use a Google sheet, a live Google sheet. George or Brandon, have you seen that from Gentry by chance?
Yeah, daily, always looking for deals on that spreadsheet.
Yeah, have you seen that too, Brandon, the live Google sheet?
I know of it. I don't know exactly the one you're talking about.
Let me see if I can pull up one real quick. I'll show you guys what this looks like here real quick. Okay, wholesale. So this is kind of what an email looks like, right? They'll send out their deals this way. And by the way, don't get too fancy. Literally, they just want to see, people want access to the pictures. They want the address. They want the asking price and the basic info. So you don't feel like you have to write a whole property description and a whole book on everything. If you do a property description, think about 3 things that are unique to the property. Does it have a covered patio? Does it have a 2-car garage? Is something new or remodeled? You know, bring that stuff up. So this
how
is
your
what's
end
that?
buyer is going to make money.
Yeah, that's the key. You're selling it why it's a deal, right? How much equity there is, or how much potential profit or spread there is, right? So they have a couple links here. Here's their Twitter link. Let me see if we can open this up on the new tab here. This is beautiful. This is a great idea. I think Connor started doing this for them. So here's Spencer stuff. Look, 58 minutes to go, an hour ago. These are 3 new deals. Right. And so you can go here and see, okay, here's another deal. Here's another deal. And they're putting all the information right here, right on the Twitter feed. Right. So the other thing that they do here too is they have this Google Doc. So let me show you this. Oh, this looks like it's, uh-oh.
They got rid of it and put it on the Twitter feed.
Oh, wait, no, he was using this still. I don't know. I have to ask them because this
It's I think it's the other link where it says live deals. Live host.
Is it this one or this one?
I thought it was the top one, live wholesale.
That was the Google Doc. So see, they got a map for this too. No, that's not working. Huh, that's crazy. I don't know why. I'll have to ask Connor about that because they usually have their deals right
Their
here.
deals on the doc. Yeah, it was there last week.
Yeah. So back to this real quick. So there's different ways to market your deals, and the key is just whenever you're focusing on the real estate business and the co-wholesaler part, you're really just focusing on 2 parts: finding wholesalers with deals and finding cash buyers. Now, I like to, as you're building this up, you can build up your buyers with an email list, with a text message list. You know, I'm using Go High Level CRM now, which is Auto. I'm switching over to, which is really good because you can segment the list. You can have buyers for certain markets. You can have pipelines. You can have a pipeline of cash buyers. You can have a pipeline of wholesalers. So you can track that, and then you can set up automations. You can have a text message or email go out to your wholesaler, said, hey, do you have any new deals? Let me know. I'm looking for something, right? It's really, this is the simple strategy. Any questions on this so far? Who's interested in doing some of this? Brandon, yeah, Ty, George, awesome. What's the questions you have, or what do you think the holdback would be for any of you?
Well, I'll talk about myself. I feel like my opinion of myself is I can get a house under contract. I feel like I win at acquisitions, and I win at acquisitions enough to make me happy and make me an income. And if I try to sell a house, man, I talk people out of buying, right? They're like, oh, thanks, I'm not interested, you know, and I'm like, oh. I've been really so wholesaling, I started fix and flipping first, and then wholesaling second, and wholesaling where I'm at paid about the same. So it's really exciting to me to just be a wholesaler now and focus on that one thing. But I have to partner with dispo guys if I want to get them sold. So, I think a system might be really good for me to incorporate in what I'm doing, and partnering with people has always worked. So I like doing that. And yeah.
So the hard part for you, or the part would be, is like the dispo side, you think?
Yeah, you know, and I'm not, there's always, you know, I stand in need of growth in all areas. So especially there.
Well, we all, and this is why I have this group, you know, I'm trying to put this out there to just give more value and help people out. Because honestly, you know, I'm Brandon, I've known you for a while. I think that you could, you know, be one of the biggest ballers around and have deals like brought to you on a regular basis. Now, if you're getting deals brought to you on a regular basis, now you got to dispo them, right? So you said that you kind of talk them out of selling sometimes, or buying the property.
Yeah, so how do I do that? So I feel like, you know, I want to make sure that people understand the negatives of it. And maybe I could do a little less hard pushing of clear understanding, and maybe, you know, let's focus on the benefits of this property when I discuss selling it, you know.
Do you ever let them look at the property, do an inspection or walkthrough and stuff?
Yeah, yeah, I do. And also, you know, when I dispo my own properties, a lot of times the buyers are, they're just interested in buying off the photos. So I've sold most of the properties that I've dispoed myself, I've sold to very experienced fix and flip buyers in the Phoenix area, and they can buy off of photos. They don't really need to go and take a.
Now, is it okay if I share with you guys one little strategy that I used to sell a house in 30 minutes or less for over asking?
Yes, go
You
for
guys
it.
don't mind? Okay. It's a little bit of, the video takes a little bit, kind of give you a little background on this. This is a house that we got under contract in Mesa a couple years ago. We had this filmed, and I did what I call the 30-minute feeding frenzy. My idea is to get qualified cash buyers that are ready to buy a house. Now, has anyone ever been to an auction, like a house auction, like foreclosure auctions? The people bidding at the foreclosure auctions, at least in Arizona, have to hand over a $10,000 cashier's check. Does that mean they have any money? Or they have access to all their hard money? So they're putting $10,000 just to play in the game, just to be in the game, right? And then to bid. Now, if they get the winning bid, then they have to close on that within 24 hours, right? So they come up with their own cash or hard money. So those are good qualified buyers. So now imagine if you can create a atmosphere of qualified buyers that are in the property. And by the way, auctions, has anyone ever been to an auction? You seen how people get emotional in those auctions? Has anyone ever bid at an auction and all of a sudden, like, I'll give you an example. So we had a fundraiser for the youth at church and stuff, and it was the young women, it was like the girls fundraiser for like camp or something. And they decided to bake and make desserts. They had cakes and pies, right? Well, we had two guys. That one guy was a doctor, one guy was in the military and pretty high up there as an officer. Both made pretty good money. And one of these pies was going up for this pie sold for almost $300. Okay, it's not a $300 pie, but it got to an emotional bidding war because they didn't want the other person to get it. They wanted to win the pie, right? And there's something about just sticking your fork in that pie and taking that first bite where the other person doesn't get any, right? So, so I'm going to show you guys a little bit of this, what I call the 30-minute feeding frenzy. This is where that's not going to take 30 minutes. It's about 5-minute video. What we do is we open up the house. We don't let anyone see the house until the day of the showing. Then they have 30 minutes to walk the property, and at end of 30 minutes, we take the highest and best offer. We take the highest and best offer. Now I'm going to show you how we made $20,000 over our asking price. And this was a joint venture. This was a co-wholesale deal, by the way. So this is right in Mark, what we're talking about here. All right, let me share my screen. And as I hit play, if you can just give me a thumbs up if you hear the sound. Okay, here we go. Let me fast forward to the fun stuff here. Okay. Is that a fancy looking house? That's not that fancy, right? Just a normal.
It's blue.
Yeah. All All right, this is a rental property for a friend of mine. Brandon and George and some of the guys here in Arizona probably recognize some of these buyers.
All right, let's get started, guys.
Can you guys hear okay?
Appreciate you guys coming out. Hope everybody
Yes.
has a little look at everything they wanted to see. So I'm Colton Brooks. I'm with Brandon Simmons, my brother Ty. We've got Jake here and Isaac here. We're like a little 5-man crew. But so just before I start, just so you guys know, we send deals out like this every day via text. You can text VIP to our number. It's 480-418-3713. Pull me aside if you need that afterwards, and I can give it to you. But we send out deals like this every day. So if you guys want to be on that list, just text VIP to that number, and we'll get those to you. So this house, I think it's 18-17 square feet, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Killer deal. Over the past week, I've gotten several offers coming in, different people trying to submit. Currently, right now, the highest that we're at is 191. So I'll open the floor up to you guys. If anybody wants to make an offer higher than that, I'd love to hear it. So let me know if anybody wants to place an offer. I'm currently at 191.
Is there a deadline?
Yeah, right now.
Is it declaring 191 cash, how fast?
Looking for, cash, 7-day closing preferably. 5,000 earnest money deposit. We're using American Title.
5K down.
Is the deposit not refundable?
Yes. So we're at 191 right now.
I'll take it for 192.
192. 193, anyone?
192.
193.
194.
94.
Oh, yep.
Right here, 195. 194 going once.
195.
195.
196.
196. Right here, 197. 196 going once. 196 going twice.
197. Yeah. Turn them off.
We're at 197. Right here, 198. 197 going once. 197 going twice.
All right, 198.
198. Right here, 199. 198 going once. 198 going twice.
199.
199.
They're up to 199.
Right here, 200.
Nice, even round number. Come on.
All right, 199 going once.
Yeah, that's probably
199 going twice. Right here, 200. All right, 199. Oh, thanks, guys. What's your name?
Orly.
Orly?
Yeah. I'll get you my card.
Hi, who was the 198?
All right.
Make sure
So-
we have those.
Hey, who's that guy?
We were in Mesa. We had about over 40 people show up for this open house. It's just simple marketing, really good price, and Colton did a really good job getting the marketing out. We just got done taking the highest and best offer. So we locked up the property on a JV agreement at 174. So we'll make $5,000. We're marketing originally at 179. Anything above that is a 50-50 split. So we ended up selling this at 199. We also have a backup offer at 198. I think the house probably could even went over 200, like even 205, 207, because the retail prices are 270, 265, 280 in this area. So really good, strong rental market too. So.
All right. So what were your thoughts on seeing that auction?
It's pretty laid back for an auction.
Yeah, no one's talking fast, right? No back and forth. Did you see could you feel the tension between the bidders?
There was a lot of emotion involved. Like they wanted to get their number out at the end. They
Yeah,
weren't.
they're waiting, going once, going twice, 199.
Yeah, at the last second.
Yeah.
Bill,
And
$9,000 over your original price.
yeah, so our original price was 179. That's what we marketed out as 179. We actually made 20,000 above that. So, and the way we did the JV deal, we got it locked up at 174. We get the first $5,000, and then anything over that 5,000 is a 50-50 split. That's the deal I made with that JV partner. So we got another 10 grand above that, I guess. So
Mhm. That's cool.
so yeah.
When would it take place?
When did that take place?
Yeah.
Was this posted? Oh, that's 3 years ago. Man, it's already been, that's before the pandemic. So
Yeah, gotcha.
I didn't realize it's that long, man. I tell you, COVID messes up with their time. So but you know, it's really the strategy is not that difficult though, right?
Yeah.
A lot of it's just getting the marketing out, getting people to show up at a certain time. Here's our window to check out the property. We take the highest and best offer and we walk away. Now here's, I'll tell you a little secret. We did this on a deal in Scottsdale once. And I'll tell you what's nerve-wracking. We had 100 people show up. Think about this, 100 people parking up and down the streets in a neighborhood.
Wow.
And not only did we sell that property, but we sold 2 more properties that same day because we had so many frustrated bidders. They're like, I didn't get the deal. I'm like, come here, I got another deal for you. What? And they're in this hot and heavy and horny to buy a deal mood, I guess. And they just had it, you know, they weren't going to walk away without getting a deal. So, you know, I think we ended up making like $80,000 in one day off of assignment fees. That's a pretty good day. I don't care where you're at, $80,000 in one day. That's a pretty good day.
That's awesome.
So I used to do the girls at the office when I worked with Sean Terry. There's a little joke. So if I sold 3 deals in a day, then I had to do a happy dance and I had to send them a video of me doing a happy dance. So that was one of those days I did the happy dance and they're rolling. So
where's that video?
Yeah, that one is buried, I hope. But no, it doesn't show up. So now here's the thing. It's really is the stuff I'm showing you, it's not that you can't do that. Everyone here can do this stuff. So if any of you need some help and want a little extra guidance on this, just reach out to me. Just go to brandontheman.com, schedule a free call with me, and I'd be glad to help you kind of get whatever it is you're struggling with, whether it's the disposition side, whether it's trying to get a Facebook community going, anything like that. Let me know how I can help, and let's come up with a strategy and figure out a way that we can work together and help you. So any questions before we wrap up the call?
We gonna give a challenge to anybody?
I'm down. What ideas do you have, George?
Find a deal and put it on find a deal and put it on your Facebook group and see how that networking would work.
I would love that. I love that. We challenged someone last night on a call that they're going to build their own Facebook group. Oh, Eric. Yeah, Eric's here. So I know I'm gonna try to help Eric a little bit through that. Part of it is sometimes you got to understand, if we don't have a lot of deals under our belt, or we don't feel like we have that much experience, we kind of throw ourselves into this imposter syndrome, right? Don't feel like that, because that's not the case. Because all you're trying to do is think of yourself as a matchmaker or as someone that's just trying to help and collaborate with other people. If you go in with the mentality that I just want to help, that I just want to kind of give value, one of my favorite books is The Go-Giver, and there's this law of reciprocity. That means you need to be open to receiving. That means you need to be open to getting paid. Don't feel guilty about getting paid, because you're giving so much value. You're helping people do deals. You're putting deals together. You're bringing cash buyers and wholesalers together. It's okay. we were talking about Spencer Caldwell, right? And his nephew Connor. They charge $1,500 flat fee to the wholesaler and a $1,500 flat fee to the cash buyer. Is that a pretty reasonable fee?
Yeah.
$1,500. That's not so $3,000 they make on a deal, right? So let's just say that they work Monday through Friday. That's 20 days in a month. Is that right? 5 days a week, times 4 weeks. So 20 days a month. They do about 2 deals a day. That's a lot of deals. That's $6,000 a day. $6,000 times 20 days.
120. Right.
What's that number? $6,000 times 20 days. Oh, Lee got us the answer there.
120 months.
120. Wow. Who could survive? Who could just live off half of that?
Yeah. Yep.
The 60K, right? And let's just cut that in half again, say another 30K a month. Most of us have all of our bills paid, and we're probably going to Hawaii a couple times a year on 30K a month. So, you know, it's not bad, and it's very doable. Most of the time, whenever I teach people how to do this JV strategy, my goal is for anyone on this call is to do $20,000 a month in joint venture co-wholesale deals.
Awesome.
Now, George, I'm going to pick on you for a second. George,
Sure.
Is it possible to do 20,000 in a month in co-wholesale?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 5 deals at $5,000 a piece. That's 25 grand right there.
Mm-hmm. So my goal whenever and by the way, you don't need a bit. I hired a bunch. You saw in that video, I had like 4 of my employees there. I had a guy filming. I had 3 other employees rocking around and doing the auction and stuff. Like, and you know what I realized, there was a time where I did a flip. No, I don't know. Brandon, you've done some fix and flips in your background. So I did a fix and flip. This was a deal we did in Mesa, and we closed on it, and I made like $51,000. $51,000. Should we be doing a cartwheel for making $51,000 on a deal? I wasn't that happy. You know why? Because I was paying everyone's salary. I was paying overhead for in a big office. I was paying all this marketing. And I'm like, you know what? Like I was much happier. I remember what I made that $51,000. I'm gonna transpose this to the first month that I quit working for Sean Terry. I did deals on my own. The first month I quit deals doing stuff or working for Sean, I started doing this JV co-wholesaling model. I took a week off and I went on a scouting, a Boy Scout trip with my son. And you know what? I took that week off and I like had Mondays off and Fridays. I was working like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I made 20 grand that first month.
Wow.
That was my first month. And I took a whole week off already. So it was like 3 weeks. So you can do 20 grand. And so that's what I realized. I was working. And because we get fed this line that we got to build this humongous business and this, we got to scale and grow. No, you need to make profit. You need to make profit.
Yeah.
Imagine a business where you're making 80% to 85% profit off of whatever you make that you get to throw in your pocket.
Right.
That's a lot sexier to me. So,
Brandon, do you recommend just do this in your own market then? Just say
100%. Yeah, you're in Tucson, right, Ty?
Yeah, I'm in Tucson.
I'd be like the Tucson mayor.
Mayor.
Tucson, even the surrounding communities and stuff.
Mhm.
Think about this: if there's guys in Phoenix, right, that don't do deals regularly in Tucson. If you get known as the person with the buyers and the connector in Tucson, and I get a deal, George gets a deal, Brandon gets a deal up in Phoenix, that's down in Tucson, well, let's call up Ty. Hey, Ty, can you help me sell this?
Gotcha.
Why not? You can do this right in your market. Don't feel like you have to go and do nationwide. You can definitely do nationwide. That's not a problem. You can do this virtually. Let's say you're in a rural area and you don't really feel like, there's a lot of stuff there. Then pick another market. That's fine. So It's not a big deal. Was this helpful today?
Yeah, good stuff.
Cool. Well, if you need any help or have any questions, just go to BrandonTheMan.com, and feel free to schedule a call with me. Oh, Sunday.com. I see that, Brian. Yep. Yeah, Sunday is actually, they were out here for a little while in Arizona where they're doing the wholesaling stuff too.
What a market there, huh? San Fran. Oof.
Yeah, I know guys are doing 6-figure wholesale deals just in San Francisco because the price, I mean, it's $1 million house for a little house, you know?
Yeah.
So
I'm actually thinking about using them. I got a 1.5 mil house over in Fremont.
yeah,
And it needs some fix up, but
they do an auction too, right? Don't they do auction
yeah,
stuff?
you basically, they do a walkthrough, they build a virtual walkthrough for the place. And they don't care whether it's super clean or super fixed or whatever. And they'll put it out to their buyers list with the buyers pay to be on the list.
Yeah.
In a week, and you're not obligated to sell. So it's to me, it looks like a sweet deal, especially in my case. I've had a tenant in for 25 years, and I really don't want to drop 150 or more into the place in order to bring it up to current market.
Yeah, I mean, it's totally, I think it could be totally worth it. Again, for those of you that aren't in the community, I just want to share this again. Just, I'm going to throw the invite into the chat. Feel free to join this community, and I'm going to upload this recording under the classroom area. And then under 2023 recordings, you'll go here and we'll have, well, if you go here we'll have the next one uploaded down here. So cool. Well, thank you guys for jumping on the call today. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Awesome.
Let's rock and roll, and hit me up if you need some help on anything. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Bye, Brandon. Thank you.